Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the sound system demo of the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder and its 13-speaker Bose audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio adjustments, controls, inputs, speaker locations, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. Then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now if you don't care about any of the stuff at the beginning, you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. I've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you're tired of hearing the same songs week in and week out, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. There you can see members-only sound tests with real copyrighted music, and it helps support the channel. So if you're interested, check the link in the description or the join button. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. All new for 2022, the Nissan Pathfinder. Now, with the little bit of time I've spent with it so far, I actually quite like this thing. This might be one of my favorite Nissan products right now, although I did like the Frontier as well. So clearly Nissan is doing some good things here in 2021. If you do want to see more on this Pathfinder, we're going to head out right after this and shoot the highway fuel economy test, see how that does. And then I think tomorrow morning we'll have a DM test drive review. So if you want to see any of those, links are in the description. Now we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, so let's take a look at those now. Admittedly, not the prettiest infotainment system, but I have to also admit it's quite functional, and I'm getting pretty accustomed to it. So here's Nissan's touchscreen infotainment. We're on the media screen right now. Let's go. There's actually two ways to adjust sound settings. You can either click this knob and go through all this stuff, or you can just go to settings, sound, and there you have it. Bass, treble, front, rear, left, right fader, and balance, and a speed-sensitive volume control. Let's go through bass and treble. There's a broad range of adjustment for bass and treble, but I am really disappointed to not only not have a 9-band equalizer, but you don't even have a mid-range adjustment on here. Kind of strange that Bose and Nissan would decide to not even have that. Not really any surround sound function either. Not a huge deal for me. I usually prefer to have that off as it's not very true to recording, but a lot of people do appreciate that, and when you're talking about a car that's pretty well equipped like this, some people might want those gimmicks. For audio adjustments, you have this nice volume knob. It's a little shallow, but easy to reach and turn. It's got nice clicks to it. You also have volume on the left side of the steering wheel. For track selection, you've got physical buttons here, physical knob there. If you're on the audio screen, you can use the touch screen, and physical controls right here, left side of the steering wheel, right by the volume, which I appreciate. And I also appreciate Nissan keeping all these physical controls. It's very straightforward and easy to use. For audio inputs in the Pathfinder, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, USB-A and USB-C data ports, Bluetooth, wireless, and wired Apple CarPlay, but only wired Android Auto, and that's it. What does that mean you're missing? Well, like I said, no wireless Android Auto support, maybe that'll be coming for next year, and no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. Not the end of the world for those, and I am glad that we have two different data ports, one C and one A. I think that's the best way to do it these days. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 13-speaker Bose system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got one door woofer, 2, 3 kind of, I guess this is probably a tweeter, and that's a little bit more of a mid-range. 4, 5 right in the center, 6, 7 up there, 8 in the door. Coming into the back, you've got 9 and 10 door woofers in the second row, and then 11, 12 woofers in the third row. And then in the back, somewhere buried under the floor, is a subwoofer. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay demonstrations. Let's start off with Android Auto first. There we go. Takes up a good amount of the screen. Looks pretty nice as well. You can move around your map after a second, I guess. I don't know why we're getting that delay. I'm not sure if that's my Android device fault or the car. It's probably the device. Using a cheaper, kind of older Android phone for that. Let's go home. And settings. There. Overall looks okay. Not super crisp, but not as bad as I've seen as well. There's YouTube Music. Alright, Apple CarPlay. As I said, you can do CarPlay wirelessly. Let's see if I can hook that back up through here. there we are, easy enough. You can see I do not have my iPhone plugged in. There's CarPlay. Also not the highest resolution, definitely seen it higher from other things, and not the highest refresh rate either. You can see that it's not the smoothest operation. Amazon Music, and let's go to settings. Okay. All right, let's get this stuff away and get out on the road.
satisfied with the balancing in this system. There is a lot of forward-facing music, and I could see people not really preferring that. Some people prefer more of an enveloped surround experience, and so I'm kind of surprised that they didn't include a surround mode, the Bose center point for this one. I could do with a little bit more power coming from the subwoofer and the door woofers. Overall, things are, like I said, they're pretty decently balanced. Good balance between the crispness of the highs and the lows. I did find myself turning the bass up when it came to more rock and complex sort of music, just to get a little more of that power aspect. For this next song, we will turn the bass all the way up, see how it sounds. That bass, actually. It's not sloppy, it's pretty well balanced. Some mirror shakage, and I'm feeling it in my legs as well from those door woofers. bump from the factory settings. My thoughts on the 13-speaker Bose sound system here in the new Nissan Pathfinder. Really not too bad. It's perfectly good for a common sort of a brand car. I do think when you're cresting $50,000 for this Platinum model, they could have done more to give it that wow factor, a little bit more rumble, a little bit more gimmick, just something to make it when you really crank up the good music to give you those goosebumps. And I'm not really getting that at all. I listened to some pretty loud music, some of my favorite songs earlier, and I'm testing it, and it's just meh. I do think something that hurts the system is the fact you have a good amount of road noise coming through with these tires. Let me just turn this down for a sec. So a lot of that road noise intrudes into the cabin and takes away from the sound experience. If that were improved a bit, it would sound a little bit better. But all in, we're giving this a B rating. Just kind of sneaking in at a B. Overall, it is solid. I think most people will be happy with it. They could do a little bit more to make it impressive. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the new Pathfinder, check the links in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.